sad voice, Dad said, "Honey, do you remember how hard you cried when you lost your grandmother, right? Think about that day. You were so sad because you weren't going to see her again. Are you getting emotional already? Don't hold yourself back. You'll feel better if you cry." He looked at my eyes carefully to see if I was crying or not. When he realized I wasn't, he was disappointed. "Maria, come on. Can't you cry just a little, please?" he begged. My dad knew I couldn't simply force myself to cry, but he was trying anyway. A friend of his was selling his luxury yacht. My dad thought it was a steal. He wanted to buy that yacht right on the spot, but he didn't have the money for it. So he was coming up with different tricks trying to make me cry. But why did my father want me to cry so much? Because I cried diamonds. Every time I cry, diamonds worth thousands of dollars fall out of my eyes. My mom couldn't stay silent. "Honey, we already have 2 yachts. Why do you want a 3rd one?" she asked him. That question upset him because it's such a bargain. If our dear daughter could cry a little, we could easily get it. But for some reason, she's being difficult, he replied. I was not trying to be difficult. I'm just not someone who easily cries. I wish I could cry diamonds when I'm chopping onions. Then Dad would have as many diamonds as he'd like. Unfortunately, I need to cry naturally if I'm to get those diamonds falling out of my eyes. My parents realized I cried diamonds when I was a baby. They were curious about why, but couldn't ask anyone because they couldn't risk having people find out about it. They were too worried that I'd be kidnapped if it were known that I cried diamonds. That's why they made a plan to protect me. Obviously, I used to cry a lot when I was a baby. They saved every piece of diamond that came out of my eyes. At the end of 2 years, they sold all of them off to buy an island. Yes, that was their plan. To live a quiet life on an island in the middle of the ocean away from prying eyes. When I was little, my mom was my only friend, which was enough for me. But as I got older, not having friends around began weighing down on me. I was making up imaginary friends for myself, but it was, of course, awkward for a teenager to not have friends. One day I shared this with my parents. I told them, "I don't want to live in isolation anymore. Please, let's move to the city. Let me go to a normal school and have friends my age." My dad got angry. "Maria, are you out of your mind? That would be too risky. Please, don't even mention this again," he yelled. I was really sad when I heard that. I began to sob. My dad shrieked with joy when he saw me crying. He grabbed a bag and began collecting all the tiny pieces of diamond that were dropping out of my eyes. I couldn't stop myself even though I was annoyed by what he was doing. I cried for some time. In the following days, my dad came to my room frequently. "We're going to live on this island until the end of our lives," he said, bursting out in laughter.